I think I fixed it. Hopefully we can chat. Because that person can chat. I don't know. I don't want things to be broken. That's like the opposite of what I was trying to do today, was have things broken. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I fucking hate this hat. Like with the ears it's horrible. Hold on. Ears be gone. Hat. This stream is rated A for awesome. Back to drawing, sending good vibes. Did he say anything? Anything that's function cannot be completed? Is it just 80 that's broken? 80. Check for updates. That's about the only thing I could think. Check for updates, maybe? Because it seems like we got people who aren't subscribed chatting, so I don't know what it would be. Either that or like refresh, maybe? 80's Twitch is being dumb, and I don't I don't know how to fix it. But thank you, welcome in. I'm a hot mess. And I'm definitely not keeping these fangs in the whole time because they are a choking hazard. They're actually not staying in properly, and I have this little like blur thing going on with them, so what did 80 say? Okay, be back soon, okay. Not me playing tech support through my phone for 80. This is Marceline. I have, as you can tell, the ears. I shaded them. So on TikTok, the ears will be around. They'll have a little shaded ears for Marcy too, but as you can tell, the hat isn't even staying on with the ears on, so it's problematic in its own. The hat will probably not be staying on either through the whole day, but wanted to show you guys the whole. So any kind of stretching today will also be a detangle of the hair a little bit, because holy fuck, I've had this wig for months and I've literally, there goes the hat again. I've tried detangling it so many fucking times and I can't get it to go, so. Thank you, Aaron, thank you. Wait, how do I give you the artist badge? Hold on. Is there a way I can give you the artist badge from here? Aaron's my artist, by the way. If you want to know like where like my little cute characters are drawn from and I'm getting new art done soon, Aaron is who you want to go to. Can I art you from here? I don't think I can. I need to remember to do that. It's just no dot in your name. But welcome in, everyone. We're going to be doing Call to the Lamb today. It's going to be my first ever playthrough of Call to the Lamb. While we're in Marceline cosplay. You know, we're done with the hat. I'd like to hear my sounds. Let me casually get my sounds ready. That's not what I want to do. The industrial tangle is in fact the opposite of what we want to do. Boom. Now Marceline's a gamer. Now I can hear things. Let's go and thank you for the biddies. Who got the first today? Who did the first today? Ben got the first. Heck yeah. You know, I might deal with the fangs for a little longer. I've already deconstructed this cosplay a little bit. I could have done like the red flannel look, but I decided to go against that because that would have, I don't know, I wanted to do something more canon for the first ever, I guess, reveal of this. I don't know. The Spicy page has seen this for months. I have just been delaying and sad. That's really all there has been to it. Ew, it did work. Ayo. Glad it was just like a weird update or something. Okay. Love the cosplay. Thank you, Scarlet Zombie. I am not the biggest fan of it, but it looks a lot better on camera than it does in real life. As you can tell, like, that's literally all of the hair. Oh, yeah. Tattoo. I keep forgetting I have this, and these shirts show it off so well. I need to get it retouched up because, as you can probably tell, like, the top of it's kind of, like, faded and old, but that's one of my 2 tattoos. I need more. I need a lot more tattoos. But, you know, We can't always get what we want. Thank you guys for being so sweet. I love you. I've been trying to detangle a wig for the past 3 weeks. I'm losing up. Dude, like, I need to get, like, a pick or something. But, like, I can literally run it through, like, all the way until it gets to, like, here. And then, like, this chunk is, like, the absolute disaster. I've tried and tried. I also cut the bangs and stuff myself just the other day. And they turned out kind of okay. I'm still very new. Okay, I feel like stuff. Oh, no. God damn it. And that's why I hate these. That's the other thing, too, like... I just got black all over my gloves. That's not good. No, so, like, my fangs aren't even staying together. Like, I did the little, like, melty bead things. And I'll have my teeth. And then the plastic bit falls off. Like, I don't understand. I'm a bad cosplayer, but it's fine. But we still got the main look going, so this is what we're gonna rock for stream, just because, once again, those are a choking hazard, and the ears aren't gonna work. Oh, I just made that worse, didn't I? God damn it. The ears aren't gonna work with the headset, but, ooh, speaking of headset too, though, I got lots of things going. I got new art going from Erin. Holy fuck, guys, I cannot wait to reveal this to you, because I sent Erin my, my mood board that I did and was like, hey, here's the vibes that I'm going for, and let me tell you, they are fucking nailing them vibes that I'm going for. So we love you, Erin. Just restarted the app, which is weird that it worked this time, because I did that once before. Weird. I literally went through and was like checking like all of my settings. I was like, are we in follower mode? Are we in subscriber mode? Are we... I didn't know what was going on. Oh god, not me just like trying to fix myself real quick. Fun fact, the eyeshadow that I have on right now, it's literally just smeared lipstick. I can't do freaking eyeshadow to save my life, so I just put some like lipstick on my eyes and then like smeared it around. I literally don't know how to do makeup. At all. This is only like my second or third time ever wearing lipstick too, so like this is all really new to me. But we're open for it. I needed some kind of therapy. I feel like most of us are. I feel like most of us are. Just imagine trying to eat a piece of pizza with the cakes with a fan. Dude, like, I feel like I could if they were actually staying in place, but, like, especially with how those ones are, and, like, it's like the first time I did my fangs, let me tell you, they were, like, perfect. They stayed in for, like, up to, like, 5 wears before I had to redo them. These I literally did yesterday. And, like, they're already broken after filming, like, 3 TikToks. Like, I don't know if, like, my beads are old. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. Who knows? Is there such thing as a bad cosplayer? Rule number 1? Fair. I guess I am just a baby. Improvising is the best thing whenever I do makeup. It doesn't work very well. Dude, I'm surprised. Like, I was gonna just not do, like, eyeshadow or anything. And then I was like, no, I want to get some kind of other color on my face to, like, wash me out more, if that makes sense, because like I wasn't feeling doing a body paint for Marceline. I was just feeling like my white complexion that I have going on, so I was like, if I can do red, that will like flush me out a little bit more, and like it worked. I'm honestly surprised it worked. But I'm not gonna do this tonight because I have gloves on and I don't want to like change out my attachments, but I have some new headset attachments here. I might be opening those for like a TikTok video tomorrow, but they'll definitely be on my headset tomorrow, which we're doing Among Us tomorrow. I'm actually really excited for that. But tonight, as I said, we are playing Cult of the Lamb for the first time. I gotta get the game loaded up. I do have my game scene already for this. I believe I have Twitch integrations up all the way. I hope so. God, I wish these would stay up. But my arms are chunky. It's like honestly my biggest insecurity. Tried that before when I was younger and it didn't work out very well. Just imagine having your hair like that every day. Dude, okay, so like, Death God, I know you were here for this. Remember when my hair was like down to here? Like, that's like a solid fucking like 6 inches to a foot extra. I chopped my hair because it was annoying. But does Cult of the Lamb have music? I don't know if it does. Tell me why my 13-month-old niece just helped me carry totes out of the kitchen by themselves or empty, but like, bro, she's in that helping stage. Let her be a strong, independent woman. Starting young. You look amazing, don't worry about everything. I am a worry rat. I worry about anything and everything. Arms aren't chunky, arms are cute. My arms are the chunkiest part of my body. You cannot tell me that they're not chunky. I know they are. Like, I still like my body, but like, look at that. I don't know. My arms are my most insecure part of my body. I've grown to like my thighs a little bit more, but the arms are a different story. And by the end of this, my makeup's gonna be running down my face. But like, also, I'm not used to contacts yet, so my eyes are a bit thirsty. But. Cult of the Lamb loaded. You beautiful, though. We can come over there. Fight me, 80. You better bring tacos.
All you people in the house,
if you come over.
and scream and shout. Say,
oh,
hey,
ow.
Hey, hey.
My mascara. Just went into my eye. 2 seconds. I gotta go clear my eye. Sorry. There was literally a piece of mascara that was falling into my eye. And I'm not about it. Hey, Ben! You look amazing, friend. BRB. We'll see you soon. But, as soon as I adjust these again. God, this is gonna be a long night of just adjusting things. We are loaded into... Hello, OBS. Please read my game screen. There we go. Cult of the Lamb. So, supposedly you have to, like, load into game before you can set up the Twitch integration. So I'm not sure what that's going to be like. And it's controller recommended, so I'm going to go ahead and do the controller recommendation for that. The game looks interesting. Yes, and we can turn you guys into followers. Literally would have considered coming over tomorrow and play Among Us, but I have to go to work. Dude, I'm kind of glad we weren't there today, by the way, 80, because apparently some girls were getting followed around by guys, and like they had like a whole ass ban and everything, so I'm kind of really happy we don't work on Fridays. But I believe in you, 80. I believe in you. You're discussing, yeah, exactly. We love... It wasn't workers that were being followed around, luckily, but like still, like, I don't want anyone to be followed around and creeped on, so these aren't gonna stay up. I can tell it now. These gloves are gonna be the bane of my existence. But we can play the game. New save. We're gonna be in a cult. Praise the Lamb, conduct great power, and promise liberator of one who awaits below. Yet sacrificial beast, take heed, for crown cannot sit upon two brows. Brows? Words, they're hard. Also, probably turn that down, because once again, I don't know if Cult of the Lamb has like music going on or anything. Expedix. This is exciting. You look great. I have to use the new game. Love it. Oh, what is this? The weird thing about this is too, like, because of my contacts right now, everything's a little extra red, so like, what are we doing? can I menu this now? Oh, hold on. There's a connect with Twitch button. Let me get off of this just in case there's something I have to do. Connect my game. Great, connected to Call to the Lamb. I've already done the Twitch extension. Oh, cool. So we are connected. Call to the Lamb Twitch extension. Viewers can spend channel points, which fill your Twitch totem bar. When this bar is full, you will receive an award. Helpers or hiders event. Help or hinder event. Oh, will happen automatically. They'll allow viewers to vote, either giving you a bonus or punishing you. You guys could literally just affect the whole game. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I may not be super active as usual. I'm gonna play stream while I try to clean up this room by making my room. Heck yeah, 80. I believe in you. Okay, this is cool. Allow viewers to enter a raffle to create your next follower. The follower will be designed by the viewer and will display their name above them at all times. So you guys could be a follower. I'm excited about that. And now I'm a little lammy. Oh, lammy. That's my stuffed animal is lammy. Can I go over here? No, I can't do anything other than walk. Are they gonna hurt me? Oh, they are gonna hurt me. Oh, they just don't like me. Okay. What, can I turn around? Oh no, there is no turning around. Okay. This guy's dead. Game by massive monster. Okay. This is so cool though. Hey guys. Oh. Sneeze. Kneel to be No, I don't want to be sacrificed. Goodbye. They're not gonna let me anywhere else though. I'll have to be sacrificed. Can I go over to the big dude? Oh no, you have a knife. Hi dude. Can we be friends? No. Okay. Sacrifice it is. What the cannot believe it's been 2 months since I've been subscribed to you. I'm glad I'm here because your streams are absolutely amazing. Also, you're pretty amazing. How have you been doing? I've missed. Hope it goes well. Dude, it's been going good. Life has been a little bit strange, but like, we're vibing our way through it. Welcome back in, Bud the Rip, and thank you for the resub. I'm happy to have you around. The forest stands the last of its kind. All others we have hunted down and put to a blade. With this final sacrifice, the prophecy will be impossible to fulfill. Heretic who lies below will be condemned to eternal captivity, and the old faith shall be preserved. The old faith. They just said I'm not dying. Okay. Can I go this way? No? What's up, dude? So I'm not dead because they said they weren't killing me. By the way, love the cosplay outfit. Thank you. It's in 10K for... It's in celebration of our 10K on TikTok. By the way, thank you guys for fucking 10K on TikTok. While it might potentially be getting banned in the US, thank you for the chance to get there. Alrighty. What's up, dude? You weren't in the other one. The one who waits. Come closer. Fear not. For though you are already dead, I still have a need for you, but they just said they weren't killing me. Those foolish bishops thought they could keep you from me in death, but instead they sent you straight to me. I will give you life again, but at a price, so I am dead, but they were trying to keep me from him. All I ask is that you start a cult in my name. Do we have a deal? Yes, and absolutely, absolutely. What's up, little dude? Little lamb. Dude, I kind of love this though, because Lammy was like, she's an angry boy. Oh, I have a sword. X is attack, B is dodge and roll. Oh, hack and slash. Yeah. Who needs to dodge and roll? I don't like that those are so far away from each other. Oh, the dodge and roll so quick though. Can I dodge? Yes, I can dodge into a slap. Alright. Murdering rampage. Fuck yeah, murdering rampage. What's we doing? Guess we're on to the next area? I'm beginning to believe, y'all better believe. What's up, dude? Ratu, feel not. I'm Ratu. I was one of the chosen vessel like you, but those days are lost the winds. I was sent to guide you. We are deep in the lands of the old faith, and in grave danger. My instructions are to lead you to safety, continue through the woods, escape lies ahead. I'll be close by. No, can I dig in the ground? Grass. Can I find things in the grass? Oh, I just found something in the grass. Can I go in here? No? Okay. Go on ahead. Smack, smack, smack. Smack. A coin. Let's open inventory. That, oh, okay, coin. Currency used for all manner of things. Okay. I have all the monies. Oh, I tried to smack that bird out of existence. This is already really cool, though. Another coin. Can I smack, like, the graves and stuff around? I don't know if I can find things by smacking things. You don't gotta tell me to dodge. I don't believe in dodging. I'm literally one of those people who won't dodge in games. I'm just full send swinging. Just little lambs on a warpath. And I am all about it. How much damage can I take though? Like, that's what I need to know, is how much damage I can take. Can I find anything? No, I'm just causing chaos. Got it. Oh my, yep, full send, eat, full send. It's the only way to go. I want to kill the bird. Hi, Matt. Welcome back. Alrighty. Next area. Oh, is that a dude? We gotta save him. We have nearly reached safety, but look ahead. Another poor soul about to be sacrificed. Rescue them, and they would have no choice but to join the new cult. Oh, the mighty bishops of old faith, we ask you to accept our sacrifice as a soul. Hey, who interrupts a ritual and trespasses on sacred grounds? I dare defy. No, there's more. Who said y'all could come at me? What's up, dude? Get a little bunny. We're gonna rescue you. Oh. Oh, okay. Not me thinking we just killed them or something. Holy cow. I was like, okay, we just rescued you, but then we just sent you to God knows fucking where. Sorry, I haven't been around. I'll never apologize for not being around. I appreciate you when you're here, but it's never an expectation or any kind of thing that's mandatory. I love you either way. No. We have reached safety. You've done well. The red crown will allow you to use those markings on the ground to transport yourself to great distances. It will take you to the temple that has fallen to ruin. There, you will be able to begin your new cult. I will meet you there. Smack. Oh, I can't smack anything. We're gonna go to our cult. So is this like dungeon crawling? Because I'm kind of about it already. Cool. I'm really excited for this game. It's already so pretty, and I'm seeing this behind my contacts right now. Oh, difficulty. Yeah, we'll just go medium, because that's what's recommended. Can I go any? Oh, there's shit out here. Oh, I should have went up. This hallowed ground, which once was mine, is now yours. This crumbling ruin is to be the site of your new cult. We have much to do, and we begin introducing this poor soul into the warm embrace of your cult. Followers can gather resources for you and order this one to collect wood and stone. What's up, dude? I'm gonna go check out up here. Oh, is that probably like the dungeon or whatever? What is this? Can't smack it. I don't want to check out the new follower yet. I want to do other things. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. Convert me into your cult. I will follow your teachings faithfully. Can we... Follower raffle. Let's go. How do we do this? Start a raffle in your Twitch chat. How do we do it? Wait, how do I do this? Wait, is it something I can do like via in chat? No, it's just a raid. How do I do this? I don't know how to do this. Wait, am I dumb? Is it something you guys can see? What do I do? I don't know how to start raffles. I don't even know that I could do raffles. I'm so green. I don't know how to join this call. I don't know. How to raffle for Cult of the Lamb. If you'd like to become a follower in the streamer's chat, you'll need to first opt in when the message below prompts like to join the raffle. Selected as the winner. What do you mean? Do you guys see anything? I do have it set up, right? Right? I'm so confused. I literally read up on this earlier. So it's only for PC. I'm so confused. I want to be able to do this. That's the whole reason why I did this. Do I go to like my page? Does anything pop up? I literally have it added though. So I guess on the right, like, so you have to be on Twitch desktop. If you're on desktop, I have a component for Call of the Lamb. And it's right above, like, Prime and 7 TV. I don't know if anyone can click that. Because I already have it set as a component and everything. Does anyone see it? As a mobile user, I feel highly offended. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was restricted to non-mobile users. Yeah, because I have it set up as an overlay there. Yeah, so I think you might just have to click on the little thing if you're a PC user. I wish I had another, like, chat to check this out with. Maybe if I, like, go back and try it again. 3, 2, 1. Start raffle. Anything popping up that round? There it is. Heck yeah. Okay, so we got 1. So anyone who is on PC has a chance to join this if they would like to be a part of the cult. Heck yeah, I'm glad it worked. I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm sorry. Give it just like another minute or 2 for anyone else who possibly wants to join. While I sip on some Dr. Pepper. I stick to my Christianity then. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe one day we will get you into Cookie Cult, Aaron. We're a cult about cookies, in my opinion. So... Uh-oh. I guess this gives me a chance to brush out my wig just a little bit more before it gets tangled. A cult to live or die for that. Give it just like another minute for anyone who possibly wants to join. But if not, we'll have plenty of other raffles throughout the time too. Alrighty. We're gonna go ahead and end. We got Ben. Oh, wait. Did it not go through? Why did it not go through? Try again, Ben. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm just dumb or what. I didn't click the B button, did I? Did I click cancel instead of end? I may have. I probably shouldn't go into things blind, but I am a dumb bitch. Is it popping back up, Ben? I don't know if it is or not. I want it to work. I'm gonna get it to work. I just realized my little vampire bites are hidden by my hair. There's so much black on my gloves now. Wait, can I do? That's 7 TV. I don't know. Yeah, my laptop is being done really quick there. Okay, let me back out, give you another chance to... Oh, hey. Okay, Ben has won the raffle. Cool. We got Ben, we got your person. I don't know how to check you're terrified of death. Oh no. And you don't like sacrifice. So you're a very peaceful follower. What's up, Ben? Welcome in. We can send you to mining or to logging. I think mining? No, logging would probably be better for resources. For, like, buildings and stuff. By your hand, our cult will grow powerful. But your followers cannot live on prayer alone. They must eat, yes. And I must get this fucking tangle out of my hair. Gather the necessary resources and build a cooking fire. It will allow you to prepare meals for your followers. So what do I need? Oh, you're contributing to the totem? I don't even know where the totem is. Okay, so we need wood and stone. You're gathering wood, so that means I could probably use the stone. Oh yes, I only needed 2. So I can probably just chop down our own wood for the fire. We gotta feed Ben. The totem is built yet? Oh. Okay. How many more? We need 1 more piece of wood. Let's go make a campfire so Ben can eat foods. Oh, we could put things places? Just the campfire. I guess close as we can right now. What we gotta do? Oh, are you gonna build the fire? I was gonna make it for you. Aww. The totem would be in the center of the dirt circle when it's built. Ah, got it. We probably gotta go through the tutorial first. Your followers need to eat. It's your job to provide meals for them. The hunger of your cult has been seen in the top left of the screen, which I'm gonna have to move myself for. Yoink. I'm over here now. And find more food while crusading the pick routes that pass through forage locations. Plant farms to grow your own food. Seed can be purchased and found whilst crusading. Okay. So Ben's got a full tummy right now. Collect berries. Oh, we have berries. We can do that. Collected. Oh, I just realized there's music. I could totally close this. Hey, cook food. Oh, it's a mini game? Now, we must build a shrine, but first we'll need more followers and more gold. Both of which can be found while crusading through the lands of the Old Faith. Our mutual benefactor, the one who waits, has been trapped by the 4 bishops of the Old Faith. Each of them guards a chains that binds him to the royal beyond. We've conjured the openings to their realms. This is your task to track them down and to slay them so that he may be fed. Now go. Though you'll find gold waiting and recruits in those I'm not willing to convert them by force. I don't know if I want to convert anyone by force. Man, are you gonna be good? We gonna be all honky-dory over here? The land's kind of big. Hey, Ben. Can I, like, talk to you? I can't talk to you. Well, I don't want to, like, tell you to do anything. You have fun. We're gonna go kill some shit. Food time, Pog. Absolutely, food is Pog. I'll be going to shower really quick. BRB friend? Okay, so that means we can yell at Ben while he's not here, right? Green door? What if I want to go to the purple door? What's this thing? Here, godly blood was spilled. Here died death. No longer wish to wait. Oh, Jay. I like the blue fort too. It's kind of swampy. I just did something. Okay. Darkwood. So here we can find food, seeds, more followers. We gotta find out. What's this? Oh, 3 hearts. Oh, that's how much health we have. What is this? Sage blade? I mean, sure. That's not gonna do crap. Oh, grass. I can now collect grass. So now we can attack everything. Oh, I can read it. Entering the lands of the bishop, Lishi. Those who do not follow the ways of the old faith will be destroyed. Well, I'm a new faith. Attack you. Cool. Destroy anything that we can. I wonder if I can find anything in the bones. 'Cause I'm finding grass. I mean, I don't know if grass will be useful or not, but it's worth a shot. The flu is killing me right now. To take some time to rest. I have an amazing time playing adorable game. Thank you. I'll be around. Saying thank you again for being awesome, Aaron. You're just cool beans. Take care. Drink some water. Make sure you get better soon. Is there a way I can tell what way I'm going? Oh, so it's like a pathing. So I don't want to go straight. I want to go left. I hope I can always go back. What's up? What's this? Praise the Lamb. Nut to great power promise. Liberator of the one who waits below. So the card showed me once. Many lifetimes ago. Has it yet to be? I've always drawn your cards, Lamb. And yet this isn't the first. Take these cards, and I will draw another each time we meet. When drawn by me, they'll grant you power. What power? Well, it's both known and unfathomable that the cards they shall decide. Do I get to pick? Oh, I do get to pick. The Lover's Heart offers vow made, +1 heart. Or the Slight, with another crit chance. I like the extra heart. Your cards have been drawn, the path lays ahead. Because as much as the crit chance sounds amazing... Can I talk to you again? Bonk, 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 bonk. You're the best, thank you. Alrighty. We'll go in with an extra heart and hopefully not die. Oh, what's up, dude? I guess I kind of do have to dodge a little if I want to be successful. Stab. Don't you dare try to stab me. We got more coins. And we have everything destroyed. Oh, I lost half my heart. Okay, so we do actually have to, like, watch ourselves a little bit. Well, something's happening here. I don't like what's happening here. I probably should have left. Oh, it's Lishi. Oh, you were put into the blade, lamb, as your kind were, and yet here you are before me. The crown, his power. Could it be? But I'm stronger still. Turn tail and run, little lamb. I won't fight you. We're gonna fight you. That was scary, though. Oh, just a whole chest? Oh, what is this? An ancient flower arch? Yes, please. 10 grass? I already have enough for 10 grass. We could do a flower arch. I'm so ready for flowers. Death or hat? Oh, wait, I guess we're going log, or I guess we'll go stone. Because we already have been at the camp logging. Wonder if I have an inventory cap. Oh, can I go back? No, I can't. I just gotta go fight things. Come on, grass. Heck yeah. I'm glad I was gathering the grass, because I would have been sad if I couldn't make that flower arch because of my dumb choices. I feel like a powerhouse, and I love it so much. Making everything in my path. Don't you dare talk to me. What is this? Sure, I'll equip a new sword. Gather more grass so we can make some more flower arches. We gotta decorate all the way around. Fish cast with all the mons. We have 25 mons now. I'm gonna go that way. Oh, it's another card dude. What's up, card dude? Are we all but players in a game of chance? Yeah, draw a tarot card. Attack rate increased. Receive double health when healing. I don't know how to heal, though. And I kind of like the idea of... Yes! More attack rate. Yeah, because I don't know how to heal yet. Am I supposed to know how to heal? Who knows? What's up, dude? Can I just attack you, please? You have come far enough, little lamb. My followers are willing to do anything for me. Can you say I'm of yours? I'll give myself to the cause, O mighty leader. By the blood of the great ones, destroy the red crown. It's a black crown, but okay. Let me attack you. Amadeus, Amadeus. Your charge didn't even do anything to me. What's up, dude? Are you afraid now? Is your ruler mean? I'm not mean. Please spare me. Convert me to your cult. I will follow your teachings faithfully. I'll let you in. Oh, do we gotta pick one of these now? We got berries. We got gold nuggets. We got rocks. I feel like berries are the good choice because I haven't found any seeds yet. I don't want to starve everybody. Down we go. Is this a second tour? Because I'm down for another adventure. Oh, it's still locked. Okay, so you just gotta go back. Cool, we'll go back. We got a couple of steaks. We didn't find any seeds, which makes me a little sad, but we did get a new follower and we have a lot of new coins. So heck yeah. Little lamb. Oh, I suppose I should probably come back here. I'm relieved to see you made it safely, and you have not returned alone. You've convinced one more to join our faithful flock. Let us introduce the new convert so we may continue. Alrighty. So, if anyone is wanting to be a part of the cult, and it's on PC, it will be popping up any second. Convert me to the cult, I'll follow your teachings faithfully. Do a follower raffle. Anyone who wants to join may click the join. Do another little... Honestly, these little raffles give me a chance to just kind of keep my hair maintained, so... I got an open spot. Want to be a part of the Vampire Queen's call? We got ya. You just gotta be on PC, unfortunately. Yeah, I really need to get a pick or something because I'm using like my regular hairbrush for this because it's like the only hairbrush I own. It's fine, it's fine. Pull the front down. And take a drink. Wait out like what? Just another minute or two. Just in case. I wonder how long I can keep these in. I don't think it's any more than like an hour or two. I also potentially have to report my TikTok after this. I'm not ready for that at all. I feel bad that my Marceline content's been lacking, but it's fine. Also, I would totally go live on TikTok if I wasn't still fucking banned for it. Wait until 33 just so it's a solid 3-minute time for you guys. If not, it's cool and we'll just design somebody. Dude, I'm so excited for my headset horns. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna open these. Oh, wait. Actually, I lied. We'll open these for the next raffle because someone joined. So, like, welcome in, lady. Welcome, lady. You are now creating your follower. We will open our headset attachment next follower raffle. Because I'm excited for these. Look at you being all cute over there, lady. Welcome in to the cookie cult or the Marceline cult today. Alrighty. You are harder to level up and generates devotion 15% faster. So you're loyal. No, you. No. Welcome. I just got you close. So we have Ben doing wood. We're gonna have you doing some stone collection. Followers will either work or worship. Worshipping followers generates devotion for you to collect. To collect devotion, you require a shrine. Ooh, what do I gotta do to make a shrine? Is this like the Twitch shrine? But we can only cost money. The place shrine. Oh, you won't build a shrine? Where's Ben at? There's Ben. What's up, Ben? How we doing? We gonna work together? Heck yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work. A shrine! Praise be. Your followers can now worship you. I demand your love and attention. Here's new followers. Assign them to worship at the shrine. Then collect devotion. Your followers generate the shrine divine of inspiration. Oh wait, is that another follower? Oh dude, we get another follower. So anyone else who wants to be a part of the cult, please spare me. Nah, follower raffle. I'll go ahead and start this guy. So it's still gonna be going. I'm just gonna switch over to our just chatting scene so we can open this. But if you want to be a part of the cult, join the raffle. But we're gonna be opening a Trinket Sorceress package. Trinket Sorceress is my headset attachments here, in case you do not know. They are amazing and I love them. And she's amazing and I love her. It's a small business, so it's not even like a big company or anything. I have discount code Cookie through them. If you look up Trinket Sorceress headset attachments, that is what I am opening right now. I do not make any money off of my discount code. I just offer you guys cute little discount code, cute little thing. So chop chop. Oh god, I remember that these scissors are literally like so old. They're like from 3rd grade, so they smell like a pencil box. But let's open a Trinket Sorceress package. Last time I opened one of these, I almost cut myself because I was just so excited and I was trying to time it to a TikTok video. I figured since I've opened one on TikTok, I've opened one live. I feel like doing this in gloves was probably a horrible idea. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Blind, love you, welcome in. Oh, no, yep, okay. Can I just rip it open now? I hate that I'm just destroying this box, but I made the active choice to do this in gloves. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Come on. Aha! Got it. So, if you've been following me on any social media, you know what set I got. Because I have been posting. Oh, non-stop. Oh. This isn't what I ordered, but she sent me an extra set. She sent me kitty ears as a little extra gift. That's absolutely adorable. Anyway, so like these are an extra little gift. Those are fucking so cute. A pink and blue kitty ear. I love that. But the ones I actually ordered, because these are also just fucking adorable. I have some roses. I'm gonna put the roses instead of like my horns for a while. But look at these. They're fucking adorable. Like, they're 3D printed. They're just gonna sit like on my headset where my horns are and have some flowers. But like now, ooh though, some roses with some kitty ears. Adorable. I love you, Trinket Sorceress. You're literally a sweetheart. And like whenever you get her little thing, we get like a little receipt card that has like how to attach it and all the fun things. And then you get your little strappy bits. She does a little piece of candy with every order, and I think that's adorable. A business card and a little sticker or two. It's adorable, but like, oh, these look so good. Like just the droopiness on the edge of the rose looks so good. So excited to get those. I could add them. Just an ad. I have so many attachments on my headset, but these were just too stunning not to grab. I'm gonna casually set those there. in there, so they'll just be chilling in the background for a while, because that's just... Oh my god, they're so pretty. And, you know, I know this isn't, like, her product or anything, but it's like, it's the stretchy thing. I love playing with this stuff. It's... Oh! Don't know why I'm so entertained by stretchy paper, but I am. Get the ad off the screen. Look at them! They're adorable! I love that. Thank you, Trinket Sources. You are a sweet bean, and I wasn't expecting cute little cat ears. But we still have just a little while longer if anyone does want to enter to be a participant. We can get you into our call. I will say you have to be on PC to enter, but we'll give you just like another minute or two if anyone would like to join. If not, I will create someone for us. Dude, I'm so excited for those. I'm literally trying to debate on how I want to design my headset now, because like I have these, which my horns aren't from Trinket Sources. My friend actually made those from me, but she has one similar to that. But these itty bitty bits, the moon, the butterfly wings, they are all from Trinket Sources. She's a sweet bean. I love her so much. I wish TikTok would give her the love she deserves. Alrighty. Whoop. Get my desktop reorganized. Because I have everything everywhere. Okay. Oh, we got a stretch from Lady. I got you, Lady. We'll do our stretch, and then we will continue on in the game. Appreciate you, Lady. I appreciate everyone. Y'all are just too amazing, and I'm not worthy. Love you. But we shall continue. What should we name? I don't... Wait. Ooh, okay. We could have a turtle. Kind of vibing with the turtle. Or a bunny. Turtle. Oh, and we could have, like, a blue turtle? Fuck yeah, blue turtle. With a swirly shell? Nar. His name's gonna be Nar. We got Sloth. Generation reduced by 10%, and he is harder to level up. So you're just kind of slacking. How perfect for a turtle to be slower. Okay. You're just gonna worship. Collect devotion from the shrine. Once you collect enough, you will unlock the divine inspiration. For more followers worshipping at your shrine, the faster they will fill up the shrine is full, they will stop worshipping until emptied. Once you have collected divine inspiration, unlock new buildings from your cult through the shrine. Ooh, okay. So now the Twitch things will be worked towards. Also, did someone try to... No. Okay, so now the Twitch channel points are in effect. We have the other dude worshipping for the regular things. Cool. Can I build anything else? Or is it I have to... Oh wait, I could do the decoration. Requires the temple. I don't have the temple yet. Hydration from Lady. Thank you, Lady. I'm gonna drink my bottled Dr. Pepper with a straw. Oh no, I just lost my straw. Okay, it's flooding back up. It's fine. Oh, there's a chest here now. Colors deposit resources while you're away. Oh, okay. Can we talk to Ben? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. just want to talk to him. I don't want to tell him to do anything. What's up, lady? Y'all are working hard. And I'm just over here. Doing my own things. I guess I already have seeds. Okay. Gonna probably make some food just in case everyone needs it while I'm gone. There we go. We got foods ready whenever people are hungry. Hopefully you don't grab food if you don't need food. How far are we along? Ooh, divine inspiration unlocked. So I can go here and do things. Sleeping bags. Farm plot. Oh, I guess we have to unlock all 4 of these. Body pit. I don't want to kill anyone, but I guess we'll start... Oh, I guess we gotta do the temple first. I don't want to hurt anybody. Okay. So now we can make a temple. Make the temple also be like another center point of town. Temple right beside food. We're gonna go build things. So he's only gonna worship. We got more things. I wish I could do more. Like, I mean, I suppose I could be gathering and stuff, but... What's up, dude? The temple is in... The temple is the center of your cult form. There you will preach summons, grow stronger, and perform rituals to mold the fragile minds of your followers. You're responsible for maintaining the faith of your cult. If it falls too low, your followers will scent against you and eventually leave. Your followers are ready to hear your word. Show them that you are a great leader. Preach a summon from within your temple. Okay. Well, our faith is kind of low. We can go to the temple. Sermon, perform a sermon. What's up, dudes? What are we doing? Through the faith of your followers, you will grow stronger. Performing sermons will draw power from them and allow you to unlock new abilities, weapons, and curses. Followers with a higher loyalty level will generate more devotion. Therefore, your followers will have... Wait. Therefore, the more followers you have, the more loyal they are, the quicker they will gain new abilities. Oh, okay. I guess I kind of have to do that. 1 Heart to the Faithful. Permanently gain half a heart. Okay. Permanently gain more health. Perform a sermon, drawing energy from your followers, the booster power of the red crown. Oh, I've already performed a sermon today. Alright. You're amazing. Behold, a natural leader. I see why you were chosen. If you are to guide your cult, you'll need to declare doctrine so that might obey you. Return to the lands of the old faith and seed out a commandment stone fragment. With these, you'll be able to declare new doctrines. Alright. We're gonna go attack shit again. Can I collect new things? View upgrades? Oh, I don't have any divine inspiration, but they have food. Our loyalty is a little low. Lady, I think is getting food. No, you're not getting food? Okay, lady. We're gonna go fight things. I'm assuming we're just going back into this guy. I Dark wood. Guess I'll starve. There's food ready for you. As the one thing that I made sure is that food is at the ready. Because personally, that's the first thing that would get me to leave a cult would be no food. We got grass. Oh, I don't trust this. I'm glad I found you. I bring good news. The one who waits is pleased with your progress and wants you to grant you a crown ability. What, eh? Hold to aim. Oh, I can just shoot shit? I don't know how I feel about just shooting shit, but... Enemies you slay will now drop... Wait. Fervor. Collect this to replenish your curses. Okay. So you have to kill things in order to get this back. I also am not a fan of this axe. Don't think this is gonna actually help us. Okay. What's up, Cookie? Uncle? Oh, thanks. Hello. How are you today? We are trying out this game for the first time, and I am honestly chilling with it. Destroy everything. I missed my sword. It was a lot quicker of a weapon. Oh, dude, what's up? So, you foolishly persist, little lamb. I hear your lies and I smell your fear. The red crown rises again. Ooh, what an unworthy bearer it has. I am a sheep, not a deer. Oh, shit. I was about ready to attack some grass and then that guy came at me. Oh, shit balls, Batman. The bat hurts a lot. Smack. Alright, I lost a whole heart there. That's, probably not great. Wonder if the other way was the way I was supposed to go. Do I need to go back? I wonder if I missed a card person. Oh, I probably could have built the flower arch. I just realized the forest is literally just a bunch of hanging dead bodies. Oh yeah, I totally missed a card, dude. Draw the tarot card. We can, when attacked, 10% chance of negating damage, 10% chance of gaining heart when killing an enemy. Ooh, I like that one. I'd rather potentially heal than just negate damage. I think I'll do a lot more killing than getting hit. Cool, that was worth going back to. Well, card? What is this? Master of the Art. Overall weapon damage increased by 1.2. We're doing some hurt. Is there a way I can cancel that? No, there isn't. That was my bad. Ooh, so there's a person, there's a card. I think we'll go after another person. What's up, dude? Help get me out of here, please. I got you. We'll have someone else to summon afterwards. So if you're on PC, when we get back to town, you'll have a chance to join if you'd like to. Hey, Cookie, it's been a minute. I changed my name. It's Easy. Oh, hey! Return Tacos! Easy! Welcome back! I do remember your old name. Happy to see you around again. Alright. Oh, so we're just fighting or fighting? That was our choices. Left or right? Kind of like the right side we've been following. What's up, dude? Oh, we can steal it? Can I just continue stealing it? Is it just gonna constantly rebuild itself? I think I got it. It says I should have clicked A, but I may have chose violence instead of clicking A. It's fine. What is this? Earns a gun. These lands were rife with goods and their adherents. What befell of this Pathan? Alas, it is the nature of the beast to forget the god and to be forgotten. Mayhap they left, mayhap they slept, mayhap they devoured and were devoured in turn. Those few who remained spread their roots, spun webs, molded this world, and made them theirs. Their lands many good once, hundreds now. Stone fragment, commanders, stone fragment. I don't know, that one has a hat on it. Or can I pick it up all? Oh, I guess I was picking it all up. Okay. You have found enough fragments to form a commandment stone. Commandment stones are what you use to declare new doctrines for your cult to follow. Use the altar in your temple to declare a new doctrine whenever you form a commandment stone. Okay. They probably gotta head off to the right first. Hey, how are you, my friend? Oh, there's a dude attacking us. Alright. Can I go back and go up? But I'm doing good. It's actually Friday, not Saturday. Congratulations on reaching 10K. Oh, fuck. I guess both sides were bad. But thank you. To say 10K on TikTok was an absolute push to do, but thank you guys for reaching it for me. To say in reality, I wouldn't be here without your guys' crazy love and support. Proud of you, keep up the brilliant work. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Can I not? Okay, I was gonna say, can I not destroy that? So that was just an extra little area. I'm glad I went up. Wait. Okay, it's card dude. What's up, card dude? What are we doing? 10% chance of critical, gain an extra half. 10% critical. I like that. I'm still getting used to the time zone difference between. Oh, I forgot that you were in the UK. I was like, it's only Friday still. No. I know what you mean, though. No, because hell, even when I had like a long distance partner back when I was in high school, like I'd have to count it, be like, okay, it's this time for me, but it's that time for you. So it was always weird lining up things, but I was normally pretty good about it. What's up, dudes? Boom. Is that a heart? It is a healing heart. We need all the grass we can get to make more flower arches. Is this a big bad? Oh, what is this? Okay. The double fire shot. Alrighty. Upgrades. Now to that dude. Now what happens if I just steal it? Still destroy it though, because why not? Oh, I just get a stone out of destroying it. So, I mean, it's not useless. Do. Oh, you look angry. Come on, let me smack you. Holy shit, dude. Fuck. Let me. Okay, there we go. The guy was a little harder to hit. If I could go back and grab my sword, I would. Fuck, hard dude. What can we do? Enemies will drop 2 times more. When hitting down 1/2 heart, our enemies will be dealt 2 damage. Okay. Don't really need any more firepower. Not a pew-pew kind of person. Love your outfit. You looking gorgeous, Cookie. Well, thank you. It's a Marceline cosplay. So we are a vampire queen today. Tangle. I one day will have this wig detangled. It's a dream of mine. Oh, I wasn't expecting to walk straight into hate. Don't like the slow attack speeds of this dude. Smack in everything, because I am an item hoarder in games. Just straight to stream in Discord. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it. Oh. Alright. Oh, I just need one more hit on him. There we go. Is it a fireball 3? It is a fireball 3. I can recycle things? Oh, I wish I would have recycled that other one. I didn't realize that was even an option. Well, I didn't miss a lot of months from doing that. I'll keep you tabbed up while eating supper. Thank you, I appreciate you. Lurkers are literally the best. Oh, fuck. Oh, I don't like this. Fuck. I don't like this. Chrissy, wake up. Chrissy, wake up. I don't like this. Chrissy, wake up. Fuck. Oh, pain and suffering. You're gonna shoot fire at me? Of course you are. Why wouldn't you? What? I don't want to die. I have literally 1 more health left. Fuck. I meant to roll. No, that was a lot that I just lost. Where do I respawn? Oh, he's gonna yell at me. Fear not, for you are my chosen vessel and death cannot stop you. I will not allow it, for I still have use for you. Take what you have gathered, build and strengthen the cult. How power is gained. Continue on. Understand each time you are brought down, he will rise again stronger. Well, you see, I just can't feel my controller because I have gloves on. Lady, appreciates you lurking. Alrighty. I guess now we can check on our peeps. Upgrade some things. Collect the divine. I wanna collect it first. So make the bed first. How many do I have? Just 1. Probably should have done food, but I don't want to make a body pit. That sounds horrible. Oh, do we have another divine? We do. So I'm gonna go for the farm plot. Because, you know, screw not having food ready. Then we can make the farming bundle, which will be badass. We have you and you built. We have a decoration that we could probably put... Oh, it's not even. It's anything but even. Oh my god, I hate everything. Guess we'll put it like... beside there. And like beside there, just for like an even path. There we go. We got 2 flower paths going. Then we can build a couple of beds around. Do we need a bed for like each person? I don't know. I'll try to make a bed for each person. Cooking fire we have. Then some crop plots. Probably do that just by the food. And like 3 of those. That's a lot of coins that I don't have anymore, but... Oh, fuck. Our worship is like non-existent. We gotta fix it. I guess we gotta do both, maybe? What's up, followers? You're feeling refreshed. Do the crown, so we have... Clear new doctrine. I don't know what that does, but we will do that because it's what we gotta do. Bonfire ritual. Dance around the flame to increase the cult's faith. Alright. I mean, I like dancing. Light the fires and let us dance deep into the night. Rituals. We dance? But I don't have bones. Yeah, I don't have bones, unfortunately. Reaches summons. Performing rituals and providing needs for fellows will keep their faith high. The bones of your enemies are required to perform such rituals. Destroy their skeletons to gather the bones. See, I've been destroying skeletons this whole time. Return to the land of the old faith to gather bones from fallen enemies. Recruit more followers and return to the ritual here in the temple. Alright, so I gotta get more of that. Does that mean our faith is bad? I'm sorry. I have things here for you. Okay, we'll do a new follower raffle. Please spare me. Follower raffle. This one I will keep up until 8:10. So if anyone by chance wants to be in this cult, you do have to be on PC, but then we can join that way. Gives me time to adjust my arms. Get a drink. Got about 2 minutes until the raffle ends. Hopefully my lipstick's holding up. Because I can barely see with the contacts in. I wasn't expecting to get like 4 followers like this quickly. God, my eyes are so dry, it almost took that whole drop. Do one more in each eye just to make sure I'm taking care of this properly, because the ring light is really drying me out a lot more than I'd expect it to. Dude, I'm so excited for these though. I saw the blue set today and holy fuck, the blue looks so pretty, but like imagine if I got like 2 more sets of this or something and like lined up a whole flower crown on my headset. That would be gorgeous. And there's so much black on my gloves. I wasn't expecting that. I suppose I could always sing a Marceline song at some point, too. Like, I love Marceline songs. They're like really calming and relaxing. Ooh, it's a green apple one. Gavin will love that. Oh, is that like a little fox now? It's like the little demon fox thing. That's adorable. I love the new stickers I get from her every time. It makes me excited. It's 8:10, so I'll wait till the clock clicks over at 8:11. Can't participate in the raffle because apparently I won while I was lurking on D&D stuff. We have Lady in. What if I try loading it up again? Because like you're definitely not in one. Because we have Lady and we have Ben. So let me try to cancel it and restart one, maybe? Hopefully it's just glitched. Because you're definitely not in. If not, I'll make one for you. Let me know if anything changes with the new raffle. Popped up a thing for create a follower and I did. Oh, were you the one that glitched out earlier? Might have glitched out though. It's all good. We'll try this again. If it pops up and lets you this round, then cool. If not, I will literally make one by hand for you. I'm gonna reload. Okay. I'll back out of the raffle while you reload. But I will literally hand make a follower for you. I suppose while he's reloading, I can do it because I have an odd feeling that it's a mess. Gavin's one. Oh well. I say you cannot kiss me.
You can kiss your forehead.
Okay. Look at these though. Look at how
They
pretty
came
they
in.
are. I think the bottom's like a little like off, but you're not supposed to see the bottom.
Yeah.
But they're lucky.
Nice.
Look at me, your gift. Under kitty ears.
Might be the movies tonight.
What you gonna see?
I think we're gonna go
The what?
cocaine bitter.
Aw, what time are you thinking?
I'm gonna talk and chat.
Right, honestly, my eyes will probably be done with my contacts by then, so like Marceline stream with contacts is definitely a shorter stream, so just let me know as soon as you know and I might.
I love you, but I also can feel like a dick every time.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want you.
But just let me know either way.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't care. Just if you get food, like try to bring me food or something when you go home.
The theater. By the time we get there, get back, it'll probably be too late for most things, so.
I don't. Just let me know.
Sorry, again, like I said, it's not that I don't want you. Close.
I get it. Look,
But
you're not
I'm
chunky.
starting to get there again.
You're not chunky. Your willingness is appreciated. If you are chosen to join a cult, you will be informed soon. Looks like it worked. Okay, cool. So let's follow a raffle. Get a new one going. Oh, well. Hey, assuming that be you. Yay, a variant's in. Now you can create your new person. So it probably just glitched out earlier because I know on my page something glitched out. Because like it was like, oh, like yeah, someone's here, and then I clicked it and then it didn't let it go through. Now we got a variant. So what's your perks? You gain faith when building better sleeping quarters. Okay. Heal 15% faster when sick and in bed rest. Okay, so you like rest and sleeping. Well, in other news, we have beds coming soon. I mean, everyone was helping with construction, but I guess we're gonna set you to building because you liked building. Cool. Oh, we got some contributes to the totem. Ooh, totem things. I know our faith is low. I literally can't do anything about it. Other than feed people. Let me... Yeah, there's some berries so I can feed. Oh, what are you? Guess I can catch spiders for food. Hope you'll like spider steaks. No, I don't want to... Let me fucking catch the spiders. Not that. I guess I can build. What's up, buddy? Great leader. The cult is growing by the day. It's time you gave it a name. The cluster. Oh, I guess it's just gonna be Crumb Cluster. Crumb Cluster. Because we can't do the cluster of crumbs. Sleep perks, it sounds like me. I love it. There we go. Crumb Cluster. There's a nice ring to it. It does. Oh, and our faith is back up. Thank God. I just gotta make some foods for you guys. Well, if I can catch the spiders, can I catch the butterflies? No, I cannot. But we do gotta start some foods. Come get foods if you need foods. Can I make another farm plot? Like, that's all I really want to do is like one more farm plot. Hey, we got some decor going. Look at that. We're not horrible. But I think now we can hold another ceremony. Yeah, Sherman. So we can bring up our faith some more. Boom, upgrade. So what can we do? Curse of the Horde. Bane weapons. Ooh, poison enemies while attacking, or 3 new curses will appear in your crusade. Kind of like the poison, though. Boom. We got new powers. Ritual we gotta wait for because I need things. Look at you guys. You're adorable. We got beds. We got everyone with a bed. I don't think I need them. I don't have any more food, but everyone's relatively okay for now. Look at you guys. Alright, I suppose it's time to go back and fight things so we can get more money so I can build more planty spots. Back in here. Do we get to start off where we were, or do we start back from the beginning of the area? I don't know what that is, but I'm kind of about it. Ooh, tentacle powers. So, one bone did nothing for us. Hopefully we can get all the bones, because that's... Ah, death by poison. I'm liking the poisoning. We already got a couple of bones going. Boom. See, I love that this is a game about, like, just destroying everything. It's really relaxing. Smack. You should, in theory, slowly die of poison. Please just die of poison. Somewhere else, not by me. Ooh, scary. Now we got bones, smack. We definitely have more money for more prop plots now. Reveal the map when attacked 10% of negating damage. We'll go ahead and do that one because I don't need the map revealed because I'm trying to just run it anyways. I will back up if I don't find everything I need. Ooh, coins and more berry seeds. I'm all about it. We can get a follower, we can get wood. I really don't need wood, so I guess we'll go for another follower. What's up, dude? You don't seem very angry. Very happy, at least. Listen? What's up, dude? They're all dead. Oh, Lord. How could I? Again. Do you see it in me? The darkness in my soul? Absolutely. I absolutely... Alright. Alright. That guy just wanted war. And I was like, fuck yeah. Join me, dude. Well, now we fight things again. Fuck your shrine. The only shrines that should exist are my Lammy shrines. And, you know, the more bones I can gather, the better we are off for ourselves, too. Oh, was that a, like, grave? Move along. Oh, the bats. The bats. They just, like, exploded, though. Ooh, they did just explode, though. It's kind of terrifying. Doop. No more grass for this area. Yeah, no one come near me. Alrighty. Everything died fairly quickly there. I really like that tentacle perk. I wish there was a way I could permanently have it, but I also like that sword more too. And now I'm running the slower axe. Oh, see, I thought this was gonna be a trap. Did I get everything over here? That looks like a box. Missed the box. I bet I can just like absolutely destroy candles. Oh, I can't leave until I destroy everything else. Oh, I'm in a little bit of a hurt. Fuck. Alrighty, that was a big treasure chest. What is this? Fired large torch. Okay. Some more decor going on. It doesn't cost money to build either. Heck yes. Go ahead and wander back right quick. What's we got? Receive double health when healing. Grab 2% more of the tentacle. See, I'm really liking the tentacle. And then go ahead and continue. No, I don't want it. Now to this dude. He's gonna kick my ass. No? Is it not that dude? Still gonna destroy the fuck out of a shrine, though. Buzz buzz. Neom. Oh, I missed everything. The fireballs are not fun. Okay, he's gone. I'm totally down like a hole. Fucking 2 hearts, though. Holy shit. Oh, is that the fast sword? Oh my god, thank Christ. I would much rather have the sword than the axe any day. Yes, I have 36 bones. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have enough to deal what I need. Dude, the sword. The sword, the sword's the sword. We got a buffer heart going. Destroy some of those dudes. My buffer sword's about to get destroyed. Not buffer sword, but buffer heart. Yep, there we go. I wish I knew how to heal. Because supposedly you can heal. Imagine probably down is the way I want to go. Fuck, it wasn't. God damn it. And I can't escape either. Attack him when I can. Fuck, 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 fuck. Okay, we're about halfway down. Fuck. I'm forgetting the controls. Fuck, 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 fuck. Now I'm half. And I missed that. I literally cannot get hit once by anything. Fuck. God damn it. I'm not used to the Xbox controller. Also, the fact that the controls are like flipped from one another gets me. But it's fine. We'll come back. I know. I'm sorry. I'm not great with remembering controls, but I'm sure my cult, yeah. I really don't know why y'all hate me. Can I convince you to, like... Yuck, this place is gross. If you don't clean this up, someone will get sick. Okay, sometimes people will get sick. If a follower becomes sick, it's a sign of bed rest. They could die. Resting will allow them to slowly recover. Poop, vomit, and dead bodies will cause illness spread quickly throughout your cult. Cleaning up messes, burying bodies will prevent the spread of illness. Well, no one's dead yet. Guess we'll set everyone to worship for a second. Go worship. I love that I have to be the one that cleans up shit. God, how much are y'all shitting? Also, where's... Hey, Ben. Understand you're a madman. Just go do something easy for a minute. Did we clean up everything? No, there's still poop here. I knew you could do it. You truly are divine. Oh, you're welcome. We're missing someone. Hello, variant. I don't know what you're doing, but go worship. Everyone's gonna worship. Go ahead and collect everything that we can. Do upgrades. Farming bundle? Oh, we don't have enough divine inspiration yet. That's fine. People are praying. We build some things. Build another. Go ahead and just build like a little farming area beside here. Is there anything else we can go on? No more economy, no more faith, decoration. Yeah, I'd be down. That's kind of just up to you and them at that point. You said 9:30ish when they were heading out. I'm assuming movie starts at 9:45 or 10. Okay, right on. Thank you. Alright, so these all cost flowers. The leafy lamppost doesn't cost anything. Oh, there's a grass. There's a little grass path. Just give them some decorations through the town. Gavin, you should load up Twitch on your computer real quick. You should load up Twitch on your computer real quick. So I can give you a person in my town. Decoration. Then we can't do anything with those, but we can build some lamps. I feel like lamps would be cute. On like maybe the corner post of the town. I said so I can give you a little dude in my game. Twitch on your PC. Then don't worry about it. No, you're good. It was just a cute idea. Alright, so we got some decoration going. Lady is gonna go build while everyone else worships, maybe? What you doing, lady? What you doing? Oh, you're just coming over here to poop. Good to know. I mean, at least you went far away from the town. Well, let's have the turtle go build some things, and a variant will have you go build some things too because your character liked it. But we do have a new character, so whoever wants to be in our cult now, you can join the raffle if you're on PC. Honestly, as soon as I see one person in, I will probably just approve them and let them go. But if you're on PC, there should be a little pop-up happening if you would like to join the game. It's not anything you have to do, you're just a little character, and I get to tell you what to do. Let me take a drink of my Dr. Pepper. I'm gonna have to like de-Marceline myself before I go to see the movies here before too long. Oh yeah, I forgot while we were waiting for followers, I was maintaining my wig. Which the one thing, I cannot wait to do a short wig cosplay, because let me tell you, my diva wig has gone through some shit. But like my next cosplay after this is Blitz from Hello Boss, and he's just a short black wig. So I'm excited to not deal with this crap again. Marceline's longer than Diva was. Sorry, I just totally punched my microphone. It's also really hot. Long wigs are really hot too. Definitely gonna have to switch out of my contacts before too long too. But if I'm getting off like shortly around like 9:15, then so it's gonna be a little shorter stream tonight because of the contacts and the movie now. But we will definitely be playing more of this before or after Among Us tomorrow because I'm really enjoying the game. There we go. I'm a little brushed out again. Oh, you've been lucky, beautiful friend. I love your face. I'm glad the message came through as I let out the best burp I've had all day. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate you. Like, I wish my hair was this long, but at the same time, when it was like this long, I chopped it because I was annoyed with it. So, dear Lord, it's just a mess of a choice. Honestly, I've been in a debate on shaving my hair recently, but like, we won't talk about that. You're welcome, Cookie. You could pull out the black hair. I've had black hair before, actually. Where's my little... I don't know where my little... There it is. Let me see if I can find a picture of me with my black hair. They're all on my personal Instagram account, which is linked in my my socials. I do have it linked there. I'm honestly probably using my stream account more than anything now, but someone... Ooh. Dude, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Aww. Okay, we'll have to check my my email after stream because we may have just gotten a finalized drawing for some of our new art, and I am so excited because like just the sketches look good. Sorry, I got distracted. Because of course when you open your socials and there's things, you don't want to like ignore them. But let me find that black hair. It's been a hot minute. Let me... God, it's been like a hot minute because the last time I had my hair black was right after I had it blue for the first time, but then that one looked weird, but I had it like a solid black before I dyed it blue for the first time ever, which was when I was a junior in high school. Oh, what? What is that?
Like one of the movies.
Gotcha. But it's probably good to watch just from not watching the others. Okay.
But
Right on. I can always drive if need be too. I can definitely drive then if you would like to.
that now is
Gavin's drinking while we're going to the movie. We do have a follower though. I'm gonna go ahead and end raffle so they can make their thing. Athens got a follower. I'm still finding that while we let Athens make their character.
All you people in the house, get up and scream and shout. Say hey, hey, hey.
Ayo. I guess all of these technically have black hair. Turn up my brightness so y'all can see it a little better. So like, yeah, I was rocking, and it's of course not gonna like show the picture all the way. I was rocking black hair for a while. My cuts relatively stayed the same over the past few years. I guess that's more into the brown era there. But I slowly went darker and darker over the years. Like, we were rocking some pretty solid black. And then we went like even darker. These pictures, as I said, are all on my personal Instagram. You just have to scroll down to like 2015. Like 2014, 2015 was my black hair. But like I've always been rocking like the super swoopy bang. I just really only went black so I could sorry, I'm blanking. So I could do marching band. Like, so our school's marching band, we weren't allowed to have fun colors for because it wasn't like uniform. But like the school itself had no rules against like fun colored hair. So like between marching band seasons, I did blue hair once and then had to dye it over for my senior year. But I'm doing good. How are you, Pan? It's the first thing I've won in my life. I've just been accepting the first people who have been coming through. But look at you and your cute little purple bunny. What are your perks? You are faithless. Sad. You don't like me. How's up, dude? Let's set you to go do some rocks. Because we got 2 people worshipping. We got more rocks than trees available. Oh, I suppose we need to make another bed now. For a variant. Let's make you a bed over here.
Get up and scream and shout. Say hey, hey, hey.
Today's a sad day. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need a hug? We offer hugs here. Hugs. Yay, bed. Yes, we got to make sure you got to bed. So I gotta make sure I have food going. I hope these are reusable. But now we got some decor going. We got some beds going. Got foods growing. Oh, it's nighttime. Did they build your bed in time? Okay, they built your bed in time. No, I wanna catch the spiders, because if you can use them for meat, then we're gonna give you guys some food. Any other spiders over here I can catch? There are like a limited amount of spiders that spawn at night. I guess tomorrow we can hold a ceremony. Can I make the farm now? Oh, I can. don't necessarily want to kill anyone. Totally did not forget the hay. We won't know. Are you gonna sacrifice me or something? No, we're not mean. So after that, we can do some decorations, a whole shelter, okay. An offering statue. A prison, we can do a prison. Lumberyard, stone mine. Missionary, demonic summoning circle. The scarecrow, okay. So in other news, our crap can be stolen by a scarecrow. Oh, what was that? I don't know what we're gathering, but we're gathering something. This tree is glowing over here. God, that tree is massive. Okay, well, I'm not doing that. Oh, I guess can I make something else now? Put seeds in here, your flowers to show. We need more wood. I mean, I guess I'll make a seed silo. Oh, that was a lot of coins. Can I, like, undo that? Probably not. Fuck. Decorations, what do we have now? A weeping shrine? I mean, if it's more decor, then... Large torch. Guess we'll make a weeping shrine. Just like memorial type deal. We do want to set someone to building, though. Oh, we can fertilize things with our poop. Heck yeah. It's almost time for peoples to wake up. Day 5. So what do we have in Athens do? We're gonna have you... The Athens that like building? No. Athens is just came in. So we're gonna have you... worship. No, because you gain things slower. We'll have you go do stone. We got 2 building. We have you on stone. Was someone else on wood? No. We'll go ahead. We'll have Ben go do wood because he was doing that before. Gather what we can. Ooh, the Twitch bar is going up. What's up, Twitch bar? Ben. It was because of Ben. We can hold a sermon. Ding, ding, ding. Look at us. Little 5-person cult. Y'all are adorable being all like purple and blue and cool tones. I think we have enough for a ritual now, though. No, fuck, I need 1 more wood. God damn it. Goodbye, guys. Need 1 more wood. Chop, chop, chop. We can build actual shelters, too. Can I just hold another ceremony now? I can. So we're gonna... dance around fires. Woo! Okay, our faith is back up. Can we upgrade the crown at all? No, we cannot. Okay. That's cool. What's up, dude? Introducing followers is well and good, but there is so much more you can take from them. Give them gifts, complete quests, and performs a blessing for them, and it will increase their loyalty to you. Once they are totally loyal to you, they will give you everything they own. Watch as I show you. Your follower, come back in here. No! I don't want to hurt anybody. Increase followers' loyalty. You'll level them up, and they will reward you with a devotion and a commandment stone fragment. Okay. Each time a follower levels up, they will generate additional devotion, and the sermon worshipping shrine will cultivate loyalty. To increase their loyalty, you can give them a flower blessing once a day when you interact with them. Okay. You can also give them gifts, complete quests for them, and perform sermons and many other actions. The more loyal followers you have, the stronger you'll become. I have much to teach you, but I am old and grow weary. Visit me in my home, and I will show you how to harness the power of the Red Crown. Where's your home at? It's up there. The Lonely Shack. Okay. Oh, okay, so we can use the teleporter to go there. If someone asked me to chop down wood and they left, I would chop every tree IRL. I mean, you've cleared out almost all of these trees, though. There's like one tree left, a couple of barks down here. Like, there's not much. You've been on an absolute rampage. But that's good. That's what we wanted you to do. We got people building decorations and such. All right. I don't know if that's gonna... I don't know. Okay, can I upgrade anything yet? No, I can't. Okay, we do gotta make some food. We'll make some food, try to complete this quest one more time, and then see where it takes us after that. Boom. Food for everyone. Oh, and everyone's hungry too. Y'all come running. Alright. I'm kind of stuck until further notice, other than this poop. Alright, and everything else is going. People are building things. Decorations are almost done. Heck yeah. Let's go try to defeat this dude again. Because, like, literally, I just want level 2 to be done. I can't seem to do it. Stabby sword. And explosion murder death. I definitely need resources before a new follower this round. Oh fuck, I forgot that those things existed. I've already gone down 2 fucking hearts. Boom. Killed all the bones. Smack anything that's on the outside. Oh, is that a half a heart? It is a half a heart. Thank God. I wish I knew how to heal. That definitely wasn't it. I don't have enough patience to, like, watch what's actually going on. Like, I love the aspect of hack and slash. I wonder what this would be like on PC. Like on mouse and keyboard, because I know it suggests doing controller, but I could always try it on mouse and keyboard and see how I'm vibing with it. Because I just feel like I'm getting some things mixed up here and there. Smack that. I wish I knew what way I needed to go. Of course. What are we getting? First consumes 25 less. See, I will happily take a 10% chance of not getting hurt. Bonk. Agreed. Can we get a battle royale to see if Dragonite is good? We sure can. Battle royale for Ben. I'll happily chop down every tree. See, we got the perfect task for Ben. He's out there getting the wood. What's up, dude? What do you got to say? Opalish Lishi, youngest of the five, 'twas eyes he lost. Temperamental Heg, with her throat cut neck. Cowardly Kalamar's ears are torn from his head. And somehow, once the brightest of the five still stuck for spirit. See no evil, speak not, hear nothing, think none. The ones who wait made it so. So you're just here spilling lore and tea. As I just destroy the camp you were chilling around. What we got? Ooh, we got a card. Went down, do more damage. Coolio. Is that like a shop or something? There's a dude there, there's wood there. I want to know what this is, though. Oh. Well, hello. Part of my lack of culture. But who, what are you? I'm Marceline. Hello. Hello, Royal. Daxy Royal. Just a heads up, I am not going to be live for too much longer. Probably about 15 more minutes, because I am going to go see an impromptu movie tonight. But welcome in. Hi, how are you? What were we playing? How was stream? How was everything? Hi. Welcome in. I need to do a raid shout out before I forget.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Dax Royal. There we go. Welcome in. Let's play Call of the Lamb. Ooh, heck yeah. This is my first ever playthrough of Call of the Lamb, and I'm really loving it so far. We're also doing a Marceline cosplay. So heck yeah. Glad to go from one vibe to the same old vibe. I also just speared my makeup even more. But welcome in, you cute human beings. Anyone who doesn't happen to know me. Hi, I'm Cookie. I play games like DBD, Fall Guys, now Call of the Lamb, Stardew, really whatever I feel like playing Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. We're doing Among Us tomorrow. I do cosplays. This is my second ever cosplay, Marceline. Our first one was Diva from Overwatch, and then we also have Blitzo from Hell of a Boss Plan, so... Welcome in, you cutie pies. I love your face, and I'm happy to have you all. I hope your stream went well with some Cult of the Lamb. Hopefully you're getting a little smoother than I am. What did I find? Small gift. A small gift to raise the loyalty of followers. I can just give someone a present? Okay. Let me smack your crap around first. What do we got? Amendment Stone Fragment. Follower Form. Blueprint. I kind of want the blueprint. Oh, fountain! That was probably the coolest one I could have found. Fuck yeah, fountain. Let's go. It's got the Imposter Among Us plushie today. Oh, I have a one that looks like Corpse Husband with like the black one with the wolf ears, and then I have another one that looks like my character normally does. It's a purple one with a witch hat, and then I have two like hard toys up front. There's one that's once again me, but it has a sword in its head and it's pointing at the other one, which is styled after my mod Riot, who has just a Viking hat on it. Mine are purple. Heck yeah, purple squad. Let's go. I say I'm normally purple or blue, but Among Us I like the purple color more. Yeah. I'm trying to defeat this round of dungeon because I have been a struggle bus. This is my third time trying the second round of the dungeon. Holy shit, we got some of the flowers. Thank God. I should probably work on getting like the lumber mill and stuff. Like I really needed wood, but also that shop sounded really cool. Oh, fuck. I was not paying attention. That's what happens when you look at chat. You don't pay attention to the game. Okay. Trying to run down on how this game is. Give me a rundown. Essentially, from what I'm experiencing, is dungeon crawly for this part, and then the other part, you just gotta keep your
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
keep your cult happy. Make sure they worship you enough. Oh, squirrel! Fuck yeah. Essentially, gather resources, keep your cult happy, do satanic things. This way is probably more peaceful. No, it's not. I should have went the other way. Someone donated to the cult. Let's go cult donate. And you can do things like that. You can also, if you're on PC and we find a new follower, you can join the cult. Like I have Ben, I have a variant, I have Lady Leyland. We got peoples in the cult. Oh, what's we got? Step forward, beast from the swirling mist. Chaos surrounded, allow me to regard you holy. You carry the weight of ageless centuries upon your shoulders. What is this? It seems statue of deceiving. A weapon is not without the hand it wields. Feel enemies defend honor, break chains. Let your crown take form one of these works, iron forge, everlasting fire. May you wield them, promised liberator. Ooh, so I have... Yeah, I like the speed. Upgrade my dagger. We can recycle, which I did not know about before. Next. And there is just a little more down here. Better question is, are you enjoying it? Absolutely, I love it. Love some dungeon crawling? Yee. Dude, it's just to destroy everything, too. What? Get the fire bitch going. Just fuck dealing with them and their fiery shit. Hopefully they'll just slowly poison themselves to death. No? Fine. Also, I just realized I'm down to 2 hearts already. Flower booms are eternal. Okay. Fuck yeah. We're finding a lot of crafting things this run. I just want to beat it. Also, did I miss anything else? No, I did not. Okay. I know my contacts are starting to blur my vision just a wee little bit. Oh, we got a heart shield. A pile of hay. It's... decoration, I think. Okay. Get the little heart shield going. Now it's time for the big bad. Or at least on our way to the big bad. Destroy your devotion. Smack. Okay, so you're dead. I only have to deal with one more now. Fuck. God damn it. I need more than 2 hearts going into this last fight. Okay. I don't know if that was an upgrade or a downgrade. It said it was the same thing, so I figured as long as I could recycle it and get resources out of it, it was worth trading. Ooh, fuck. Oh, you drop toxic shit. Don't want to stay in your shit. I don't have time to take health down. Oh, so many spiders. Can I just like attack them? Are they doing anything for me? I don't actually know. But we tried. It seems like a Moonlighter, but with a call instead of shop. I've never played or really heard of that one, but it's freaking adorable, and I love it. Even though I suck at it, it's still adorable, and I love it. We got coins. is it gonna be this way that I need to go? Maybe? Nope, I always choose the wrong side. And I feel like that's why I'm at like such a disadvantage right now. What kind of fire are you shooting? You're shooting directly at me. Fire. Okay, so I'm definitely doing better. Fuck, I got hit once there. But I'm halfway down, so... Smack, 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 smack. I suppose I also have this. But that definitely did not help me at all. You just gotta keep my heart going. Oh, fuck. Okay, you're shooting directly at me, so I should be able to take you out, hopefully, that round. Yeah. And that means we have one more follower to change over before our stream ends. Welcome, dude. We got stone, we got berries, we got seeds. I will take the stone this round. And a commandment tab. Oh, wait. I need all the bones for that. Adds BRB, we'll see you back. Alright, so we're gonna return back to home, get our new people, set us up, and that will probably be the wrap-up of the stream today, because as I said, I got an impromptu movie planned, and my contacts are starting to get at me a little bit, so it's time to get out with cosplay, but we will definitely be continuing this tomorrow, because holy shit, I love this game already. Very good, my vessel. It seems I chose well when choosing you. Be watching your every move. Do not disappoint me. I got you, Demon Dad. I got you. From Cluster. Alright, so it's nighttime, which means I can catch some spiders really quick for food. Actually, I'll water my plants first. Did they already gather shit while I was gone? Or did it, like, die? That's a red floaty. Where did that spider go? Guess the spiders are all gone, but I can collect the glowy things. Don't actually know what they're all about, but... Hello? Never mind, there's a spider here. Let me get him. Or not. Make some food for my peeps. I'm just getting so sidetracked. There's so much to do. Collect all this. Ooh, and we got an upgrade going, which means we can move on to this part. Heck yeah. So now that's a whole row of shit we can unlock. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to wake you guys up. I'm sorry. Don't wake up to upgrade things. I mean, if you're happy about it. Great leader. When times are tough, we can cook grass meals. Followers won't like it, but... Sure. I guess I can feed you grass. Lady. We got poop here. Okay. Just because I know I'm gonna run out of time and I can't really do anything else before, we have one more person available up for grabs. So who is gonna be our last follower of the night? If you're on PC, you have a chance to join. I guess I can feed you, but they wanted grass. They're like, oh, most people won't like it, but like, can you feed me grass once? I'm having fun here, by the way. Also, I want to mention something. Thank you. You don't realize your helpful streams help me out. That's what I'm here for. Just a nice little calm place to chill and vibe. I'm happy to take care of you guys as best as I can, just for a good place to chill and not have any expectations. With satisfaction in exchange for feeding them. Yeah, but if you said no to feeding them gross grass food, they would have yelled at you. I do need to probably, like, as soon as we get our new cult person, I do have to, like, raid and run. So let me find a friend to raid while we're waiting for anyone who wants to join up here. Mommy 5. Mommy, sorry. Ooh. Meep Live. Dude, I haven't seen Meep Live in forever. Okay, we're gonna raid one of my friends who I used to play Among Us with. Also, cosplay outfit's great. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Honestly, this cosplay was, like, I was so nervous about it because I was like, I feel like it's not the best ever, but y'all made me feel really cool about it. Anyway, take care, buddy, please. I'm heading out. Bed, you're amazing. Good night, bud. Sorry, I said to say mommy. I meant mommy. Wait, sorry, mommy. Sorry. Alrighty. So I do have that ready. Holy cow. Yeah, my contacts are starting to go. Okay, I unfortunately... I'm just gonna cancel the raffle for now. Oh, fuck, I can't. Hopefully that doesn't break anything, because unfortunately I do have to, like, raid, like, right now. I don't want to, like, be pushing time. So as I said, we're going to be raiding my friend Business Meep. Get your raid message on, copy and paste. Thank you guys for making an awesome stream. Once again, I will be doing more Cult of the Lamb tomorrow. I'll definitely do another Marceline stream at some point because she's a little more casual than Diva was and a little more easy to deal with. So I do have to get, like, some makeup off and my contacts out and stuff like this. So we are raiding out super quickly. Get something on, copy and paste. Top 1 for followers, bottom 1 for subscribers. I love you guys. And the only other thing I have to say is check the socials. I'll be doing some Marceline things, doing some other things. Love and appreciate you. Bye. I'm gonna raid in 3, 2, 1. Peace out. Stream.